Oh, I knew looking at the camera. Is that where I'm? Okay, I just want to make sure I'm here, bro.
You good now?
Yeah,
You sure?
yeah, let's get it, bro.
All right. You ready? You ready for this?
Hello, audience.
We are less than 24 hours away from the start of the 2020 NFL draft, and I am still talking about pre-draft process winners, which is a little silly, but due to everything going on in the world right now, things got a little bit delayed. I have a couple more players, or a few more players actually, I wanted to talk about, including Van Jefferson and Jeremy Chinn. I thought both of these players really helped themselves between the Senior Bowl and the Combine. Now, of course, with Van Jefferson, he did not participate in the scouting combine this year due to a foot injury. But I want to bring your attention to what Jim Nagy, who runs the Senior Bowl in Mobile, tweeted out in terms of his speed. And of course, when you talk about Van Jefferson, the first thing that you point to is the route running, and the route running is excellent. We have a video on the channel where my colleagues Headley and Drew, they talk about the top 5 route runners in the class, and of course Jefferson is among those guys. But as you see in this footage, I mean it's tremendous, and he rarely, very rarely tips his hand in terms of what he's going to do. Outside of the one-on-one drills and 7-on-7, full 11-on-11, even in the individual drills where there were no passes being thrown, you could see the advanced footwork and feel for route running. He really impressed me with that, and he of course had a very strong week routinely creating separation and making plays in the passing game. There's a bit of a stigma associated with the term route running. From my perspective, and when I'm evaluating players at the receiver position, what I prioritize is, can he beat, can the receiver beat man coverage? Can he beat press coverage? And Van Jefferson has proven that he can do so. You know, again, it didn't always translate to statistical output because of some things outside or beyond his control, but certainly when given the opportunity, Van Jefferson has produced. So I'm not overly concerned about his non-participation at the combine. You know, again, his speed, his ability to separate shows up on tape on a consistent basis. And as I mentioned before, Jim Nagy, he also alluded to the fact that, you know, Terry McLaurin of the Washington Redskins was an older rookie, a 24-year-old rookie, and didn't have huge production at the collegiate level. But of course, he goes to Washington and he really flashed, and looks like he could be a receiver one at the NFL level. So we shouldn't write off Van Jefferson. I really want to advise against anyone writing Van Jefferson off. Again, the number one thing I'm looking for in a receiver is the ability to consistently separate from man to man coverage. And again, Van Jefferson has proven that he can do so. On the other side of the ball, Jeremy Chinn from Southern Illinois, you know, he didn't jump off the page at the Senior Bowl. Of course, I think everybody at this point is well aware of the combine performance he put up. It was tremendous. He demonstrated superior athleticism. He has great size. What I did appreciate, though, from the Senior Bowl was his level of comfort in man coverage. And you don't typically see that with a guy at his size, or safeties for that matter. And I think, given how calm he is in terms of his feet and his hip fluidity, I think there's a lot of upside. I think he could be one of those rare safeties that really thrives in man coverage. He can be your big slot. He can certainly help as a nickel linebacker, maybe spying. I definitely think there's a lot of different ways you can deploy Chin. You're gonna have to have a plan though. As far as his man coverage, I think if he learns to use his hands more effectively in press, I don't want to jump the shark here, but there's flashes of corner boundary corner skill. You understand what I'm saying? Again, he didn't win all of these reps, but even in reps you didn't necessarily win, it could still be a good rep. And as you can see here, you know, he's typically in position. He's getting his head around. I think with more coaching, and certainly if he learns to use his length and his arms in press coverage, he can be dominant. What concerns me about Chin, though, outside of, you know, his tremendous athleticism and the upside that he represents from a coverage standpoint, is he doesn't have the best of instincts, and his recognition isn't great. I like the way he was communicating, you know, getting aligned and learning and absorbing the information that he was receiving from the coaching staffs during the Senior Bowl. But you can see that it's going to take some more refinement. Of course, he played at the FCS level, so there's going to be questions about level of competition. But again, I'll go back to the man coverage prowess that I think he possesses. I think that in of itself, on top of, again, a tremendous combine, vaults him into was the middle of the second round, and I mentioned Kyle Duggar before, and he may come off the board before Duggar. There's a lot to be excited about both these players. Again, I think it'd be a mistake to count out Jefferson due to his age and the fact that he didn't get an opportunity to run at the combine. And as far as Jeremy Chinn is concerned, I think there's a ton to work with. He can turn the football over, get his hands on the ball, make plays as well. So I'm excited to see where they end up.